9 out of 10 car owners fall for mechanic scams that keep their wallets empty without them even noticing. But here's the twist. You're most likely falling for it too, costing you thousands of dollars in unnecessary repairs from the mechanic, from fluid change to coolant flush. Here's 15 mechanic scams you don't know you're still falling for. Save money now by watching till the end. One tip can save you $3,000, and the last tip will 100% shock you. Let's dive in. Scam number 15, unnecessary transmission fluid changes. This is one of the most profitable scams because shops push transmission flushes as preventative maintenance when your car doesn't actually need it. But here's what they don't tell you. Most cars don't need their transmission fluid flushed until 60,000 to 100,000 miles, if ever. These mechanics prey on your fear by showing you dark fluid and claiming your transmission will die without immediate flushing. But here's what most people don't know. The reality is that transmission fluid gets darker with age, but that doesn't mean it's bad. Your owner's manual specifically states when transmission service is needed, and it's rarely as often as these shops claim. If your fluid isn't burnt, smelling, or filled with metal particles, you probably don't need this service. And here's the kicker that'll shock you. What makes this scam particularly profitable is that transmission flushes cost 2 to 3 times more than a simple drain and fill, which is usually all that's needed. But here's the shocking part. Some manufacturers like Mazda actually warn that flushes can damage your transmission by forcing debris into sensitive internal components that should be left alone. But wait until you see this next scam that happens at nearly every oil change, and you've probably fallen for it multiple times. Scam number 14, the free inspection trap. Who doesn't love the word free? But here's the truth. That's exactly why this scam works so well. Shops lure you in with a free inspection, only to hit you with a long list of urgent repairs. But here's what they don't tell you. AAA found that 22% of free inspections lead to unnecessary fixes. But here's how it really plays out. They'll say your suspension is shot, or your belts are about to break. But often these problems are exaggerated or completely made up. For example, a shop might claim your serpentine belt is cracking and needs immediate replacement. But here's the truth. Minor surface cracks are normal and don't affect performance. Or they'll say your suspension is worn out when it's just fine. But here's the kicker. Never approve repairs on the spot. Say, I'll think about it and get a second opinion. A trustworthy mechanic will confirm if the work is truly needed. And don't fall for the limited time offer pressure. But here's what they don't tell you. Repairs aren't emergencies unless your car is unsafe to drive. Take your time, do your research, and don't let free cost you hundreds. If you think that was sneaky, brace yourself, because this next scam preys on your worst fear as a driver. Scam number 13, used parts sold as new. Some dishonest mechanics will charge you for new parts, but actually install used or remanufactured components, pocketing the difference as pure profit. But here's what they don't tell you. This scam is particularly hard to detect because most customers don't know what new parts should look like or how to verify their authenticity. But let's call it what it really is. The markup between used and new parts can be enormous, especially for expensive components like alternators, starters, or air conditioning compressors. Shops can buy used parts for a fraction of new part prices, then charge you full retail while claiming they're installing new components. And it gets worse. Counterfeit parts are another variation of this scam, where shops install cheap knockoff components that look similar to genuine parts, but lack the quality and durability of authentic components. But here's the kicker. These fake parts often fail prematurely, leading to repeated repairs and additional costs. Now here's what you can do. Always ask to see the old parts that were removed and the packaging from new parts that were installed. Legitimate shops should be happy to show you what was replaced and provide documentation of the parts used. But if they refuse or seem evasive about showing you parts, that's a major red flag. Wait until you see this next scam, because it involves something that sounds absolutely essential for your engine's health. But here's the catch. It can actually destroy your car. Scam number 12, engine flush services. Mechanics love to sell engine flushes by claiming they'll clean out harmful deposits and extend your engine's life. But here's the truth. This service is almost never necessary and can actually damage your engine. But let's call it what it really is. Engine flushes are unnecessary upsells that prey on your desire to take good care of your car. But here's what most people don't know. Modern engines and oils are designed to prevent harmful buildup when maintained properly. If you've been changing your oil regularly with quality oil, your engine doesn't need flushing. Even worse, The deposits that form in well-maintained engines actually serve as gaskets and seals in older high-mileage vehicles. Now let's talk danger. When you flush these deposits away, you can create leaks where none existed before, and it gets worse. The cleaning chemicals can also loosen debris that gets stuck in oil passages, potentially causing catastrophic engine damage. Here's what they don't tell you. It's like power washing the inside of your engine when a gentle cleaning would suffice. But here's the kicker that'll blow your mind. Most automotive engineers will tell you that if your engine is dirty enough to need flushing, it's probably too late to save it anyway. Good maintenance prevents problems. Expensive flushes don't fix neglect. If that wasn't enough, this next scam is so common that most drivers think it's actually required maintenance. But here's the catch. It's costing you hundreds of dollars unnecessarily. Scam number 11. Premium oil changes when regular oil works fine. Walk into most service centers and they'll immediately try to upsell you to synthetic or high mileage oil, even when your car runs perfectly fine on conventional oil. But here's what they don't tell you. They'll claim synthetic oil will make your engine run better, last longer, or improve your gas mileage. But let's be honest, most of these benefits are greatly exaggerated for normal driving conditions. But here's the truth they won't admit. If your owner's manual doesn't specifically require synthetic oil, conventional oil will protect your engine just as well for normal driving. And here's the kicker. Synthetic oil costs 2 to 3 times more than conventional. But unless you're racing or towing heavy loads in extreme conditions, you're not getting proportional benefits for the extra cost. Now let's talk about how this targets older cars. The high mileage oil scam is particularly egregious because they target older car owners who are worried about their vehicle's longevity. While high mileage oil can help with minor leaks, it's not necessary unless you're actually experiencing problems. But here's the catch. Many perfectly healthy engines get this expensive oil unnecessarily. If you made it here, we'll very much appreciate it if you liked the video. We did a lot of research into finding these mechanic scams that you'll regret not knowing. We got 10 more, and number 1 is something you will not expect. One of these can save you thousands. Let's proceed with scam number 10, the coolant flush scam. Mechanics routinely recommend coolant flushes every 2 years or 30,000 miles, when most modern vehicles can go 100,000 miles or more between coolant changes. They'll show you discolored coolant and claim it's acidic or contaminated. But here's the truth. Coolant naturally changes color as it ages without becoming harmful to your engine. But here's the part most drivers miss. The flush process itself is often unnecessary overkill for what should be a simple drain and refill. They'll charge you for expensive equipment and chemicals to power flush your cooling system, when a basic coolant exchange would accomplish the same result for half the price. And here's the kicker they use to scare you. Some shops even claim that mixing different types of coolant will damage your engine, when in reality, most modern coolants are compatible with each other. They use this fear to justify expensive flushes and premium coolant that your car doesn't actually need. But here's what about the long-term truth. Check your manual and stick to the manufacturer's schedule, not the service center's profit-driven recommendations. Need a laugh? This next scam involves one of the simplest maintenance items on your entire vehicle. But here's the catch. They're making it sound like a life or death situation. Scam number 9, cabin air filter panic. Service centers love to dramatically pull out your cabin air filter to show you how disgusting it is, claiming it's affecting your health and air conditioning performance. But here's what they don't tell you. They'll charge you $25 to $40 for a filter that costs $8 at any auto parts store and takes 30 seconds to replace. But let's call it what it really is. Cabin air filters are supposed to get dirty. That's proof they're doing their job. Unless the filter is completely black or falling apart, it doesn't need immediate replacement. But here's what most people don't know. Most cabin air filters can go 15,000 to 25,000 miles without problems, despite what service centers claim. And here's the kicker that'll make you laugh. This scam is particularly profitable because they can sell both the inflated price filter and charge labor for a job that literally takes longer to document than to perform. Don't let them scare you with dirty filters. Check your owner's manual for the actual replacement schedule and do this simple job yourself. If you think that was ridiculous, brace yourself for this next scam, because it involves a component that could actually damage your engine if you're not careful. But here's the catch. Many cars don't even have what they're trying to sell you. Scam number 8, timing, belt replacement deception. This scam is particularly nasty because timing belt failure can indeed destroy your engine, making customers eager to pay whatever it takes to avoid catastrophe. But here's what they don't tell you. Many modern cars use timing chains instead of belts, and chains are designed to last the entire life of the vehicle. But here's the shocking part that'll blow your mind. Even cars that do have timing belts don't need replacement as frequently as some shops claim. Timing belts typically last 60,000 to 100,000 miles. But here's the kicker. Shops often recommend replacement at 40,000 or 50,000 miles to increase their profit margins while playing on your fears about engine damage. But wait until you see what this common fluid service is doing to your bank account, because here's the truth. It's probably the biggest waste of money in automotive maintenance. Scam number 7. Power steering fluid scams. Mechanics often claim your power steering fluid needs changing based on its color or smell. But here's what they don't tell you. Power steering fluid rarely needs replacement unless there's an actual leak or contamination. But let's call it what it really is. This service is pure profit for shops because power steering systems are mostly sealed and don't contaminate their fluid under normal conditions. But here's the trick they use to fool you. They'll show you dark or slightly discolored fluid and claim it's burnt or acidic. But here's the truth. Power steering fluid naturally darkens with age without losing its effectiveness. Unless the fluid smells burnt or contains visible metal particles, it's probably fine for thousands more miles. And here's the kicker that'll shock you. The markup on power steering fluid is enormous because most customers don't know how much it should cost. Shops charge premium prices for fluid that costs them a few dollars, and they add labor charges for a service that takes 10 minutes to perform. You won't want to miss the number 1 scam that almost every driver still falls for. Scam number 6. Spark plug replacement frequency lies. Modern spark plugs are designed to last much longer than service centers would have you believe. But here's what they don't tell you. They'll recommend replacement every 30,000 miles, when platinum and iridium plugs are designed to last 100,000 miles or more. But let's be honest, this premature replacement costs you money without providing any benefit to your vehicle. But here's what most people don't know. The old copper spark plugs from decades ago did need frequent replacement, but today's advanced materials last much longer while maintaining consistent performance. But here's the catch. Service centers prey on outdated knowledge to sell unnecessary replacements that pad their profit margins significantly. And here's the kicker they use to convince you. They'll claim that new spark plugs will improve your gas mileage or engine performance. But if your current plugs aren't misfiring, replacement won't provide noticeable benefits. But here's the truth. Modern engine management systems compensate for minor spark plug wear, maintaining consistent performance until the plugs are truly worn out. Wait until you see this next scam, because it's a pricing tactic that'll make your blood boil once you understand how it works. Scam number 5. Bait and switch pricing. This classic scam starts with an advertised low price for common services like oil changes or brake jobs. But here's the catch. Once your car is in the shop, they discover additional problems that inflate your bill dramatically. They count on you feeling trapped since your car is already there and partially disassembled. But here's how it really works. The initial low price is designed to get you through the door, but it only applies to the most basic service possible. They'll claim your car needs premium oil, special filters, or additional repairs that weren't included in the advertised price. And by the time they're done adding necessary services, your bill can be triple the advertised amount. Even worse, some shops will even start work before getting your approval for additional services, then present you with a fait accompli when you come to pick up your car. But here's the truth. They know most people will pay, rather than argue or seek legal recourse over automotive repairs. But here's what you can do to protect yourself. The best defense against bait and switch pricing is to get everything in writing before any work begins. Ask specifically what's included in the advertised price and what additional costs might arise. If they can't give you a firm estimate up front, find another shop that practices transparent pricing. If that scam shocked you, brace yourself, because this next one is even more insidious. It involves the actual quality of parts they install in your vehicle. And here's the kicker. You're paying premium prices for junk. Scam number 4, brake scare tactics. Nothing gets you to open your wallet faster than a mechanic telling you your brakes are dangerous and need immediate replacement. But here's the truth. This scam works because nobody wants to risk their family's safety. So customers rarely question brake repair recommendations, even when they're completely unnecessary. But here's what they don't tell you. Many shops will show you worn brake pads that still have thousands of miles left in them, and it gets worse. Another variation involves claiming your entire braking system needs replacement when only the pads need changing. They'll tell you the rotors are warped when they just need resurfacing, or claim your brake fluid is contaminated when it just looks dark from normal aging. And here's the kicker. These unnecessary additions can triple your repair bill. Always ask to see the worn parts and get a second opinion if the repair seems extensive, especially if your brakes were working fine when you brought the car in. If that scam blew your mind, wait until you hear about this deceptive practice involving unnecessary component replacement. Because here's the truth, they might be creating the problem they're claiming to fix. Scam number 3, CV joint boot replacement racket. This scam involves claiming your CV joint boots are torn and need immediate replacement to prevent expensive CV joint failure. But here's what they don't tell you. While torn CV boots should eventually be replaced, many shops exaggerate the urgency and overcharge dramatically for this relatively simple repair. But let's call it what it really is. CV joint boots are rubber covers that protect the constant velocity joints from dirt and moisture. When they tear, it's not an immediate emergency, but shops will claim your CV joints will be destroyed within days if you don't pay for immediate replacement. But here's the truth. This fear-mongering gets customers to authorize expensive repairs unnecessarily. But here's the kicker they don't want you to know. The actual repair is often simpler than shops make it seem. Many CV boot tiers can be repaired with inexpensive split boots that don't require disassembling the entire CV joint. But here's the catch. Shops prefer to sell you complete CV joint replacement, which costs 5 to 10 times more than a simple boot repair. Even worse, some unscrupulous mechanics will even deliberately damage CV boots during routine inspections to create problems that weren't there before. Always ask to see the damaged boot and get a second opinion if the repair seems expensive or urgent, especially if your vehicle wasn't making any CV joint noises before the inspection. Speaking of component scams, this next one might be the most expensive diagnostic mistake of all when dealing with check engine lights. And here's the kicker. They're charging you premium prices for something that costs them almost nothing. Scam number 2, diagnostic fee fraud. This is the granddaddy of all mechanic scams because it sets the stage for every other scam on this list. But here's what they don't tell you. Shops charge you for computerized diagnostics that often involve nothing more than plugging in a basic code reader that costs $20 at any auto parts store. But here's what most people don't know. Modern cars have sophisticated diagnostic systems that store error codes when problems occur. But reading these codes is simple and takes less than 5 minutes. Many auto parts stores will read your codes for free, yet repair shops charge $50 to $150 for this basic service. But here's the kicker they use to justify ripping you off. They use the diagnostic fee to justify whatever repairs they want to sell you. They'll claim the computer told them you need extensive repairs when often the codes just indicate minor issues or temporary glitches that don't require any repairs at all. Even worse, some shops will clear your error codes and claim they fixed the problem, charging you diagnostic fees for doing essentially nothing. But here's the truth. If the underlying issue hasn't been addressed, the codes will return, but they've already collected their diagnostic fee for no actual work performed. And now, the number one scam that everyone is falling for without them knowing, costing them hundreds in unnecessary expenses. And here's the shocking part. It starts with a word everyone loves to hear. And now, scam number 1, air filter upsell. During oil changes, walk into any mechanic place, and they'll inevitably pop your hood, pull out your air filter, and dramatically show you how filthy it is. But here's what they don't tell you. They'll claim your engine is choking on dirty air, and you need a replacement immediately. Then quote you $30 to $50 for a filter you could buy for $8 at any auto parts store. But here's the part most drivers miss. Unless your filter is completely black or falling apart, it's probably fine. Air filters are designed to get dirty. That's literally their job. But here's the fascinating part that'll shock you. A slightly dirty filter actually filters better than a brand new one because the dirt particles help trap smaller contaminants. Now here's the irony. The installation process takes about 2 minutes and requires 0 tools on most vehicles. You can easily do this yourself by popping open the airbox, lifting out the old filter, and dropping in the new one. But let's be honest, the entire process is simpler than changing a light bulb, yet shops charge premium labor rates for this basic service. There you have it. Which one surprised you the most? Which one do you know already? Let me know in the comments below. Aside from mechanics scamming you, Did you know you also most likely got scammed when fueling? Click this video. Trust me, you won't regret it.